Music's always been something that I've grown up around. My dad was always playing piano around the house, playing guitar. There was always music somewhere playing, whether it was a record player or a radio. As soon as I could reach a piano, my mom started, putting me on piano lessons. And I took lessons for about 6 years, and then I started playing cello while I was in school. That turned into private lessons, that turned into playing with the school orchestra, that turned into playing with youth symphonies and string quartets and chamber ensembles. And I got really into the classical music cello scene. When I was in college, I was playing guitar in a rock band. That band broke up, and the singer came to me and said, "Hey, I want to start a folk band. Will you play cello in it?" And I had never really played cello in a rock setting before. I learned how to accompany a rock band and a pop band and contemporary music on cello, and that's something that they don't teach in music school. So what we get to do in the studio that we can't really do in a live setting is I can mimic myself as a cellist supporting the actual track, and then go in and be the front man. I can be everything at once. So I can be the cellist, just the cellist, and I can be just the vocalist, and I can be just another cellist. So right now this is basically filling out the pieces of the band. If it's like the Brady Bunch, if you were the same person in every corner of the screen, right? It's like that tic-tac-toe board. Yeah, so my upcoming album is called Romance for Antiheroes. And it's my first solo album, which I'm excited about. It's the first time I'm actually putting out songs that I've written as a collection. And it's an exploration in self-discovery. It's an exploration in growing up and in self-worth, for sure. I struggled for a long time with myself as a musician and hoping that the songs I was writing were good enough to share with other people, and that's a hurdle that I'm slowly but surely getting over. Pickpocket is the first single on the album coming up. It's one of my favorite songs I've actually ever written. The story behind Pickpocket is that it's a conversation that didn't actually take place. It didn't actually happen. I was catching up with an old flame when I was in Pittsburgh a couple of years ago, and we had this amazing time catching up, and it brought up some old feelings, and then there were a lot of things that went back and forth in my head that I didn't actually say. I didn't actually articulate it. And we split, parted ways again, and I went back to my house and wrote a song about it.
On the way home, you got quiet. I wonder what happened. Is it too late to change your mind? In the meantime, I'll let my imagination drive. Say you'd rather come back to my house. All of a sudden you're honest, it's freaking me out. It's not so hard to imagine this car ride never happened.
My family was always really supportive of music and the arts in general. My mom's an artist herself, and we just have always had food on the table and music lessons. My parents, I think, had a really tough time when I said I'm quitting my corporate job and gonna be an artist. It was terrifying to quit my tech job and go out on my own, because you're giving up security. You're giving up a paycheck, you're giving up health insurance, you're giving up steady time off. My new day job became playing music, meaning every single night I'm playing 3-4 hours a night, usually during the week, or I'm teaching during the week. And then on the weekends, pretty much every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I've got 20 to 30 hours of gigs. And I think I kind of undershot how hard that was going to be physically, how hard that was going to be mentally to stay engaged. You're entertaining, you're putting on a show, you're meeting people, you're making sure other people have a good time. Really thankful to have the opportunity to do that, but I don't always sleep as well. I don't always rest as well between sets, and I don't really have the opportunity to do that. During the day, I'm either creating music, I'm in the studio somewhere, I'm writing, I'm preparing for a live set, I'm learning, I'm trying to hone my craft. And then once I go through this very intense, mentally demanding day, then it's time to reset, get back into the mindset of performing again, and go out and play another 3 hours. And that's pretty much every night.
Minor third is that? Sing that in the higher register for yourself.
Audio engineering is weird because it's such a piecemeal process. You never sit down and you do everything at once. It's very much a step by step, and the better you have a system, the better results you're going to get because it's more refined. And I really like the idea of working at home because I can take my time. I don't have to pay anybody to do it. So it's been a really important thing for me to be self-sufficient and to learn how to do it myself. And then once you learn how to do the thing, then you can get creative about it. But this room has been a blessing to just have the space to work to my heart's content. I can be here at 2 in the morning if I want to and just make noise. And it's not too far from the coffee because when I run out of this, like, I'm fucked. Like, every time. I'm already crashing. It's 1 p.m. I'm already feeling like I'm down right now. So, back at it. When I first started producing music, like I was like, why isn't this sounding right? And it took a long time to understand that there's such a process in a particular way to get a sound that you're trying to go for. It takes a lot of work to hone in, especially your taste. And when you can have an idea of what you want something to sound like, and then figure out, okay, if that's my end goal, how do I reverse engineer to work backwards for that? And it took a lot of patience and a lot of trial and error and a lot of like failing fast and failing hard and a lot of curse words and just being generally frustrated with it. And I also I think I severely underestimated how long this takes. And that's why people go to professional studios, because those guys can do it really well, really fast.
That's cool. And let's do the last one.
Yeah, whenever you're working by yourself, like it's a lonely feeling sitting in a dark room for hours on end. So that's one of the big benefits of going to a studio. It's just like your sanity, like your mental health, you're collaborating, you're learning with other people. Being with other people is really irreplaceable. And especially as a solo artist, you gotta figure out what's gonna make you happy and not go crazy by yourself. I've been playing as a freelance cellist and a hired gun for forever. And I've been really lucky to have played with some amazingly talented artists and some really good musicians who have kind of helped me get the name out there. People can actually see what I can do on the cello. My biggest challenge is describing what I do, because people don't really understand, like, how do you take cello out of a classical context and put it into a pop song with a singer-songwriter? And especially the way I play, it's just a little bit, it's different. And I have a hard time explaining that. So then when I can get an opportunity to get in front of an audience, it clicks. People say, oh wow, that's what it sounds like, that's what you do.
Cheers to Leander up next. Thanks, y'all. See you around. Cheers.
Being a full-time musician was something that I've dreamed about my entire life, and I made a plan to actually go out and make it happen. Making it is so subjective. Like, what does making it mean? Nobody fucking knows what making it means. Making it is like making it a lifestyle, making it a priority, making it a dream, making it something that you find important. Making it, to me, is making it a lifestyle. And from that sense, I've already made it. Like, I feel really good about where I'm at right now. I feel great about having the opportunity to do this, having the ability to be focused and be driven and to wake up every day and, like, yeah, I had a shitty gig the night before, but then I go back the next day and I hit it super hard in the morning. I come back with some great recordings and I go out and play the next gig the next day. I've talked to a lot of people who are going through similar falling outs with their own careers and saying, why don't I just take a chance right now? Why don't I take a risk? And that's really rewarding, really empowering for me to be that catalyst for them to say, get out of your comfort zone, go try something weird, new, get into the unknown. My commitment will always be to cultivate a community, to try to get people to better themselves. As much as I push myself, I want other people to push themselves as well. And I want to continue to be that support. And I'm also super committed to just making great art. And I want to continue to do that. I want to continue to get better, hone my craft, and continue to give my art to people that care about it.
It's always been an inside job. Truest stuff is blind. Thanks, y'all. This is fun. See a bunch of friends here, seeing a bunch of new friends.